Hi, thanks for tuning in. I'm Alex from Contrast Law, and I got a lot of phone calls in the last few days regarding people worrying about their existing wills and powers of attorney, and they've been putting it off for a long time, and now they think they need to make some changes, but they're isolated. What do they do? So I thought I would take a couple minutes and just chat through it. So let's talk about it. When you have a will, there's two ways to amend it. So let's look at the ways. There's two forms for any will or a codicil. So you either have to make a new will, or you can make a codicil, which is essentially an amendment to your will. But there's only two forms. So either it's a formal way, and just like a will or a codicil, an amendment to the will, it has to be witnessed by two individuals, and the individuals witnessing that document cannot be a beneficiary or essentially a spouse of a beneficiary. You can also make a will or a codicil in holograph form, but you have to remember that the whole document has to be entirely in your own handwriting and signed. You cannot print it out on or type it up on a computer, print it out and sign it. It is not going to be a valid holograph will. So it has to be the whole thing in your own handwriting. So is it an ideal way? No. But under the current circumstances with the COVID-19, it is at least something you can do if your will is completely outdated and, for example, you have to change just one provision like an executor. However, if you're going to do that by a codicil, that you're going to do it in a holograph form and write it out in your own handwriting and sign it, you should be confirming if all the other provisions in the prior will are in fact confirmed, because you do not want inadvertently to revoke provisions of the prior will by your codicil. Once this situation settles down and we're out of self-isolation for many of us, you should certainly review with a lawyer as soon as you can. And if you're looking at your prior documents, some of the special notes you should take into consideration. Divorce does not revoke a will in Manitoba for all purposes, but a marriage does, unless that will was made specifically in contemplation of that marriage. So take a look at your existing documents and see what it says. If you have a power of attorney, that's a little more challenging than a will, and that's because a power of attorney in Manitoba must be witnessed by a qualified person. And here's a list. So if somebody can solemnize marriages, a judge, physician, a notary public, which in Manitoba is essentially only lawyers are notary publics, a lawyer, an RCMP officer, and a police officer. So given these requirements, you may not be in a position to actually get a power of attorney revised or put in place. So I certainly encourage you, once the situation settles down, you should be talking to somebody or a lawyer and making sure you have a power of attorney in place to protect you in future circumstances. Should you happen to find one of these individuals to witness it for you, again, I would not recommend finding some sort of template on the internet, but in the worst case scenario, I suppose you could look at it. Certainly not recommended. But if you do find a template that is Manitoba based and you still want to go ahead and you find one of these individuals to witness it for you, you still have to remember that the person being appointed as the attorney under that power of attorney should not be a witness. And the individual witnessing should not be the spouse or common law partner of the person being appointed. So let's assume you actually don't need to make any changes. You looked at your documents and everything seems to be okay. I suggest you still make sure you know where the originals are located. Let your executors or attorneys know where to find the documents. And perhaps take the isolation time to think about your wishes now and think what can be changed or should be changed, And once this is all settles down, go and visit your lawyer and get the things revised. If you have any questions or feedback, or you want some other topics covered, send me an email, blog@contrastlaw.ca, and I'll be glad to answer any questions I can. So thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And if you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. Thanks very much and have a great day. Stay healthy.